Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Sunday's edition of the Doctor Who Daily. So welcome to my preview of Doctor Who Flux, Episode 5, Survivors of the Flux. So this is going to be a very, very different type of episode. Do not expect to see much of the Doctor in Survivors of the Flux. It's just so obvious because now the division, is it the division or division? Anyway, let's call it the division. Although there's context to that, the division or division. Interesting, right? He's called it that for a reason. Anyway, so it's obvious, right, in storytelling terms that the Doctor's been caught maybe a little bit too early by the division. So normally you would expect a big reveal episode, the leaders of the division to talk to the Doctor and to reveal what she is and what she's always been. And they could do that and then do something else for episode 6, but they're not going to do that, I don't think. I expect to see the Doctor in the final couple of scenes, the final sequence, and that'll be it. Introducing the big reveals for the finale. That's what I think they're going to do. So, as I say, number one, don't expect much of the Doctor. What do I think about this? Well, can the characters left behind hold the show? I mean, we do watch Doctor Who for the Doctor, but we've had Doctor-like episodes before. I mean, there's been some really good ones. Blink is a Doctor-like episode, and that's pretty good. But we had a pretty amazing actress leading the episode, so that did help as well, didn't it? Sally Sparrow was a great character, wasn't she? But I think this is different. This is not just some self-contained story with not very much Doctor in it. This is the continuation of the Flux, Doctor Who Flux event series. So they're going to continue all the strands. They're going to discuss, what's happened to the Doctor. So if the Doctor is now a weeping angel, does she just vanish? Does she stay where she is? How does she get to the division? This is all about the angels getting her to the division. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out. And obviously, if the Doctor is actually a weeping angel, you can't get anything from her. She can't talk right, and she's just not going to not be a weeping angel just like that either. So very little screen time for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, but loads of screen time for Kate Lethbridge-Stewart because the leader of UNIT is back. And I believe we haven't seen her in the Chibnall iteration before. Someone tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've seen her since the Moffat era. So I'm glad that's continuing. But this is, of course, also interesting because didn't Chibnall disband UNIT to many, if not most, Doctor Who fans' horror, mine included? But obviously he did it for a reason, to bring them back. But it would have been great for Kate and the first female Doctor to work together in many episodes. So I think, again, Chibnall's missed the trick. But obviously he's trying to do something here. Now, apparently, the plan is working, whatever that means. What is Kate up to? Is it even Kate? What's going on? Is she under somebody's control? Very, very interesting. So I think Kate will replace the Doctor in this episode. As I say, you will see the Doctor, but I don't think you'll see her until the very end of the episode, where they're going to give us a big cliffhanger, I would assume. So I would expect loads of UNIT, loads of Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, which is great because I love the actor who plays her, and there's so much nuance in that role. That woman just has to open her mouth, and she makes anything a character says so interesting. Go watch her on Holby City. I'm not even sure if she's still on the show. But she's an amazing actress. One of these people who just speaks the way she speaks. Her accent, everything. It's like you're listening to an authority figure. So she's a very intimidating character and an interesting character as well. And very much the Brigadier's daughter as well. I loved her. Is she his granddaughter? I can't remember. Anyway, she's great. She really is. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, I don't get to see this till the early hours of Monday morning because I'm in Cyprus, no access to BBC iPlayer, as I always say, so I'll have to wait a little bit after for you. What I do is I stay on Twitter, I retweet all the spoilers if you're interested in those spoilers. Listen, if you don't want spoilers for a brand new Doctor Who episode, just don't go on Twitter for a few hours or days or whatever till you watch it. I know you can't expect people not to be excited for an episode. That's my attitude. But by the way, I like the spoilers. It does spoil the cliffhangers and all that for me. But we do live in an era now where nothing's a secret anymore. And there's nothing we can do about it. Just like we live in an era of a fucking pandemic. Frustrating, right? But what can we do? So, yes. So, lots of, Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, the Brigadier's daughter or granddaughter. Comment down below. Remind me which one she is, by the way. So, lots of her. Not so much of the Doctor. But you're going to get loads of her. Because I think that episode's just over an hour, the finale. Very exciting. This should put to bed the whole Timeless Child story. I think, I could be wrong, but I think they're going to finish this off and do something totally on its own in the final 3 episodes next year, which are all feature-length episodes, by the way, starting with the New Year's Day special. So that's exciting as well. So you can expect to see Vinda, Belle, so we'll learn a bit more about them. And what's her name? Mandip Gill's Yaz, that's it, and Dan are stuck in 1902 or wherever they're stuck in, wherever it is. I've obviously got the year wrong, but you get my gist. So now, I do have a little theory about this because some Yaz fans are complaining that she's still stuck in this time in the finale. I don't think we're going to see her again after the finale, just my theory. People will be pissed off about that. It's just a theory. I could be wrong, by the way. And I think having her and Dan stuck in that year for all eternity would do it, wouldn't it? That's how she can't be around anymore. She's stuck in the past, like Amy and Rory are. So I think that's maybe where she's going to stay. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like maybe Yaz could be stuck there with Dan for all eternity. Well, at least she's got a nice guy to look after her. Or has she? Because Doctor Who Poop is still insinuating through his humorous videos that Dan is evil Dan. I love those videos. And by the way, so does John, the guy who plays Dan as well. So yeah, you're getting a lot of elite people saying they like your videos, Doctor Who Poop, which is great. Always happy for other creators. Never be bitter and jealous towards creators. Be happy for them, even if you don't get a lot of views like I don't. Don't be, why can't I get those views? Either I'm not talented enough, or it's because my videos are done on a tablet. There's a reason out there. It doesn't matter anyway. I will go on and see how I get on with my Doctor Who videos and my other videos as well. I'm having a lot of fun doing all of this. It's not all about being elite and successful anyway. And so, yeah, well done, Doctor Who Poop. So, yes, it could be that Dan and Yaz stay in the 1900s, if that's the kind of year they're in. But I think she could be trapped there for all eternity. Interesting. Would Chibnall do that? I mean, I think if she's not in the final 3 specials, there's going to be a problem with fans. But Chibnall's got himself in a hole. Because when you get these shippers obsessing about something, and really, in terms of what Chibnall's done, we've not really seen a hint of the Doctor certainly being infatuated by Yaz. But then again, we did have this mattress, this bed, in the console room of the TARDIS. So either they're sleeping together just so they can keep each other warm, or they're lovers. I don't know. So it'll be interesting what happens there as well. So could we see any big reveals in this episode? I think if the Master is going to be in Doctor Who Flux at all, tonight is the time he will be revealed somewhere along the road. He might not be in this at all, but I'd be very surprised if Sacha Dhawan's Master isn't involved in this. Will we see the Roof Doctor? Will we see the Fugitive Doctor in this episode? I think you may have to wait till episode 6 to see her. I don't expect to see her tonight, but funnier things have happened. I personally would have given her a whole episode to herself, because I don't think RTD is ever going to give her own spin-off. He may do, which would be really, really cool. So I think in the finale, we're finally going to find out who the Fugitive Doctor is, Dr. Ruth is. So I expect all these things to be tied up by the end of Doctor Who Flux. Now, he may actually drag this out to the final 3 episodes, feature-length episodes, next year. But I've always had this kind of niggering feeling, should I say, that he was always going to do the reveals in the finale of Doctor Who Flux, because I just think he's going to focus maybe on 3 standalones, or maybe Davros. Everything's about Davros in the final 3 episodes. Imagine having Davros in the final 3 episodes of Jodie Whittaker's iteration of Doctor Who. I think that would be brilliant. And imagine he comes to, because apparently at the end of episode 6 of Doctor Who Flux, he comes to her for help. So they could actually be on the same side for once. And maybe they'll talk more about the relationship they've had in the past as well. Don't forget, there was a time when he was a little boy and the Doctor could have allowed him to die, and he didn't. So amazing way Moffat brought Davros into that, and I loved it. So yes, Davros is definitely coming back for the New Year's Day special. I just don't know if his story is involved in the final 2 episodes for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, but I do have a suspicion that is the case. So I am expecting big things for Doctor Who Flux episode 5, Survivors of the Flux. Even though we're going to see very little Doctor, we should see a couple, if not 3 or 4, huge reveals. So hold on to your skirts, boys and girls. It's going to be a bumpy ride. This has been the Doctor Who Daily. I'm Nick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. And I'll see you again tomorrow, where we'll be talking about episode 5 of Doctor Who Flux, Survivors of the Flux, on tomorrow's Doctor Who Daily. Until then, goodbye.